the whole world is watching. And now, this moment, we have the duty to make this moment as a turning point in history. We are honored to recognize the courageous steps of exposing the State of Israel by the government of Nicaragua, who put the Israeli ambassador out, by the government of Venezuela, who kicked the Israeli embassy out, by the government of South Africa, who put the Israeli government out. We need to isolate this entity. As Iyad says, we need to kick this entity from the United Nations. There is no recognition of racism. There is no recognition of apartheid, not here, not now, in the 21st century. President Obama, this is the change that you were elected for by millions of working families of America. Working families of America wants you to do change. Stop aid to Israel. Stop aid to Israel now. Invest in healthcare. Invest in housing. Invest where the people need the money. In our high schools, in public education, and stop giving Israel a cover. Stop legitimizing piracy. Stop legitimizing terrorism. You have to do that. And unless we have to play that role, we have to play our role in making that happen.
Now, there have been statements around the world from particularly the South African trade union movement, because they know what apartheid looks like. Israel is an apartheid state, not just in Gaza, but in the West Bank, where they're building the apartheid wall. We must oppose this by workers' actions. Unite, which is one of the largest trade unions in Britain, has come out in protesting the Israeli massacre of the flotilla people. But most importantly, and you need to pay attention to this, the Swedish dockworkers who stood strong against the apartheid regime have now announced just yesterday they will strike against every Israeli ship in Sweden from June 15th to June 24th. That is the kind of action that's needed to oppose the oppression by the Zionists against the Palestinian people. Workers have the power. We need to exercise that kind of power today. Just as we did in 1984 against the ship from South Africa, we have the power to stop the Israeli government from oppressing Palestinian people.
Thank you very much. And it's great to be here with all of us today. And as for our friends across the street, let's pretend that they don't exist. Because you know what? Soon it won't exist like that. There is a change coming. I can see it. You know, I've always been a person who looks at the dark side of life. But I've continued to do the work in Palestine. Mecca has brought food and medicine to children in Gaza, in Iraq, in Lebanon. We're building water purification systems in all the schools in Gaza. We'll continue our work. But it is the work of every single person who's here today, along with the people on the flotilla, along with the people who bring water to children in Gaza. It's every single one of us that is going to end the state of Israel as a Jewish state. You know, I never thought I would think this way, that I could see the possibility. But I do see the possibility of a state where everybody has the same rights, where everybody has the right to vote. I can see people packing up their bags in Shatila refugee camp and figuring out how they're going to come back to Haifa. I can see the people in Syria. I can see it happening. And it's because of them and their steadfastness. And it's because of all the people around the world who believe in the rights of Palestinians. Thank you.
And as Jews, it's understandable that some Jews feel afraid after 2,000 years of persecution. But it's our responsibility to face these fears, not to act on them. We must speak out as much to fight oppression when it's practiced by Jews and others with the collusion of the U.S. government as when oppression is practiced against Jews. Finally, to the right-wing government of Israel, which does not represent us, you may be able to stop a boat, but you cannot stop this movement. Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live!